Theresa May came out of the house she has occupied for less than a year to make an announcement few expected.
I have just chaired a meeting of the Cabinet where we agreed that the government should call a general election to be held on the 8th of June.
The reason for the gamble? Britain's exit from the European Union. Much as Theresa May has said that the country is uniting behind Brexit, it has bitterly divided the political landscape. In calling an election, Theresa May blamed the opposition parties here in Westminster, accusing them of playing politics with Brexit and weakening her hand when negotiating with the EU. While they dispute that, they've been left with little choice but to welcome the chance to let voters have their say. And that, said the Prime Minister, has worsened the UK's negotiating hand in talks with the EU. Not the stable, decisive stance she wished to project. The leader of the main opposition, Labour Party, welcomed the move. Jeremy Corbyn indicated that the party would provide the support she needs to call the election. It is risky for Labour, though. In the polls, they are trailing way behind the ruling Conservatives.
We're going out there to put the case of how this country could be run, how it could be different, how we could have a much fairer society that works for all, for everybody in our community. That's the case we're putting, and I'm looking forward to doing it.
The other issue at hand, a referendum on Scottish independence. First Minister Nicola Sturgeon called the early election an extraordinary U-turn and said it would reinforce her plans to push for a vote.
Now is the time for Scotland's voice to be heard and for people in Scotland to stand up for the kind of country we want Scotland to be, and that's the campaign that I look forward to leading in the weeks ahead.
But if the election is meant to strengthen the UK's standing in the divorce proceedings, it's of little importance for Brussels. They have their negotiating stance, while the UK is working out its own bargaining chips. But a secure majority for the Prime Minister may usher in a change in Britain's hard Brexit tactic.
I think, ironically, if Theresa May gets a strong majority, this might lead to a softer Brexit. And the reason for that is, if she has a larger majority in Parliament, she is no longer as dependent on the hardcore Brexiteer MPs. Previously, with her very thin majorities, that group has been extremely influential, and they could have blocked anything that is not a hard Brexit.
This election may consolidate Theresa May's leadership in the party, but the opposition has little time until June the 8th to figure out their strategies.